Where were you? I was in another place on vacation. So before we get to it, this was supposed to be a big vacation with a lot of people. But the first person that started planning this was Millie. One by one, people started dropping out. Everyone is busy. Everyone has their own life. And frankly, I mean, Millie was sick in the hospital. Millie had a lot of stuff. She had her birthday. She had a lot of things to plan, right? So anyway, I basically said very early on, I said, look, I'm sorry, everybody. I would love to go on the trip. I looked at the ticket prices and I said, I'm not going. I wanted to save money. I said, I want to stream, which is very true. My decision started wavering when we were watching Millie's outfit reveal. It was me and Uki in the voice chat. And Uki was like, hey, Nina, if there's any chance of you still considering it, like I have space in my Airbnb. And I even called them out. I was like, don't you know I'm an extrovert? Like, don't you know I'm annoying? And Uki's like, yeah, but I know from Alira that, you know, in person, like you're manageable, you're tolerable. So I was like, oh, interesting. I'm a manageable extrovert, according to the introverts. This is exciting. This is exciting news to me. So I said, and I quote, I'll think about it. And then later that night, another person came up to me and said something similar. And in the end, 4 separate people came up to me and said, you should consider coming. And I was like, fine. So I looked up the plane tickets and they, for some reason, were a very different, they were still a little bit expensive, but they were a different price than I remembered. And I thought, well, damn it. And this is the difference. When I first bailed out of the trip, there was a lot of people going. B, the tickets were really expensive and I couldn't see that far ahead. This time, there was way less people going. And I was starting to feel burned out. You know, it was after my birthday. It was after my outfits. I was starting to feel like, okay, maybe I could use a little bit of a break. I didn't book my tickets until very, very right before the trip. But I have to say, the timing worked out so well because when I got to the trip, sometimes it was just like me and Uki at the table not talking. And it felt so relaxing. Or sometimes we'd like go out for food and it was just, I needed that. I don't think I could have realized in my brain that's what I needed. That I just needed to be out somewhere, not at my computer. You know, just being with work people, but not necessarily talking about work. I really needed that. I just needed people to chill with. Exactly. But then obviously if you want to talk about work, you can, because we're still always kind of working. Okay, so number 1, well, I was in an Airbnb with Uki, and I just have to say, it is so nice to be on a trip with okay, Mika cleans a lot, but it's amazing to be on a trip with somebody that like also cleans. So for example, at one point, Uki comes to the kitchen and I'm putting things away into the fridge and Uki's like, oh, you're putting things in the fridge? And then another time, I am like, oh, you did the dishes? We're both like, oh. At one point, we were going somewhere and Uki hacked, like, it's so small, but Uki like went on Google Maps and like went to see how to get there. And I was like, oh, you Google Maps? How to get somewhere? Wow. It's just so nice when you're not the only one. So anyway, Uki is amazing. Uki is amazing. Their skin is very, very beautiful and clear and clean. And they're so pretty. I said this to both Uki and Alira. I am pretty extroverted. Uki's pretty introverted. But I feel I have this problem with introverts. I never know how introverts truly feel about me. At some point, we're eating dim sum. Uki just tells me something kind of personal. That's when I go, oh, Uki likes me. As a friend, mom. I was like, ooh, Uki likes me like that. Cool. I just feel like until an introvert confesses to murder, I don't really know if they like me or not, you know? Until an introvert is like, hey, Nina, I killed a man and you're the only person I've ever told. You know? Am I saying Uki confessed to murder? And I have the same thing with Alira too, where until one time Alira told me something pretty personal and I was like, oh, I guess you like me. Alira also murdered someone. Yeah, why do you think they're friends? Because they murder people together. All jokes aside, I had a really, really good time with Uki. I don't know, we vibed pretty well. I like Uki a lot. We got good food. We got some dim sum. You know what was really sweet about Uki? I wanted to go to dim sum the day before, but we didn't. We went to ramen because Ike really wanted to. And then the next day, Uki looked up the dim sum place that I was talking about for us to go there, which was really sweet. I know, it was very acts of service. Both Uki and I just kept trying to buy each other food. And then at some point, I went away to this marketplace and I was like, hey, do you want me to get you this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Do you want that? And Uki was like playing a video game with Alira. They were playing Pokemon Unite, I think it's called. So I text Alira, I'm like, can you ask if Uki wants this? And Uki says no. And I'm like, can you just be a little bit more fucking needy, bitch? So I can buy you things? Come on. But yeah, they are super chill. Once at some point, like Uki was like in a really big phone call with Alira. And it was just like us two and then Alira on the phone. And then Shu came over. And, you know, Uki was just like laughing. And at one point, I was like trying my best at jokes because I wanted to see which jokes would like get Uki to laugh. I think my best joke that I said, so one night, Uki kind of scared me because Uki didn't think that I was home. So just because I was so quiet, I passed out immediately. And at some point, like, I don't remember how it happened, but I had woken up in the middle of the night, like saw Uki and yelled. But I think it's because I heard Uki, or maybe Uki like walked into my room to make sure that I was sleeping or not because the light was on. And I got really scared. Like I yelled, but I barely remembered. And by the way, Uki is gorgeous. Uki is gorgeous. Bare face, no bare face, makeup, no makeup. Uki is beautiful. But since I was joking, I was like, yeah, you know, I woke, and she was there. I'm like, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night, saw Uki's face without makeup, and I just yelled. And Uki gave me like the biggest belly laugh. I was like, ah, that's good. That's a funny joke. That was, I think, like one joke that really made Uki laugh. And another one was, I'm really proud of this one. So Uki had called Alira and they were just talking right on the phone. They just kept laughing a lot. And I was like, damn, Alira, I haven't heard Uki laugh like that all week. Which is obviously not true, but you know, because one time I was washing my hands and I was like, Uki was telling me something a little bit like sort of sad. And then I was like, I have this one big problem as an extrovert. I love physical touch. So when I am close to somebody, I always want to like put my hand on their shoulder or like rub their shoulder. So at one point, I was like, give me a minute. I'm going to finish washing my hands and give you a hug. And Uki just goes, don't. And she just freaking burst out laughing. And I'm like, hey, don't laugh. Don't laugh. What the hell? It was one of those like, don't. Like, don't laugh. Yeah, I really liked Uki. Like I said, walked around, we talked a bit, we ate. And yeah, Uki's just really awesome. At one point, we were all going to dinner, which by the way, I overslept that dinner. So Uki took a nap before dinner. And at one point it was like getting close to the time, so I went to wake Uki up in his room. So I knock on the door and I'm like, hey Uki, you know, dinner is soon in case you wanted to get ready. And Uki's like, I forget how I did it exactly, but I was like, aha, I'm gonna touch your hand. And then I just like touched his hand. And he instantly like went like, he just moved his hand so quickly and started like, you know the laugh when you're tired where you're like, stop, but you're laughing. And I was like, touched your hand. And like obviously they were sleepy, so they like still moved their hand away, but they were like laughing at it because it's just so dumb. Like, I'm a grown woman. It was just funny because they were like being kind of like sleepy, and I wasn't sure if they heard me to wake up, so I was like, I'm gonna test if you can hear me. I'm gonna test if you're woken. We kind of developed this like little thing where, you know, I'd say, can I give you a hug? And Uki would say no, and then we'd both laugh together. Very funny. But seriously, like all, you know, like Uki is very, very clear with what is a boundary and what isn't, and how you can and not, you know? Yeah, they have such a straightforward personality. They are very, very good with just, yeah, they'll tell you if they don't like something. At karaoke at one point, I was like giving people shots, and then Uki was giving people shots. At one point, I was like pouring a shot for everybody, and then I didn't have a shot glass, so I just poured in a cup for me. And then I just poured the rest of the soju, because nobody was drinking as much as I was drinking. So I just poured the rest of it, and then I locked eyes with Uki, and they just laughed at me, because I basically like poured like 5 shots worth of drink into my drink, because we had so much alcohol left, and we had such little karaoke time. And then after that, Uki was pouring shots for everybody. And this one I wrote on Twitter, where basically Uki was like, they poured 2 shots and then they were holding them both and they gave me a look. But when they did so, I raised my cup to show that I had some drink. So they looked at me, took the shot, then sighed, looked at me again and took the second shot. And I was like, damn, you're having a rough night. The thing with Uki always looks like they're having a rough night or a rough day. Even when they're not. They just always look like annoyed with everything and everyone. It's amazing. I wish I had that energy. Like, it's such a cool energy to have. They're always like... At one point, it was, I think, like us, me, Uki, and Ike, we were trying to cross the street, but it was like the light kept being red. And Uki just like went and crossed the street. But in that moment, like if I didn't know Uki, I would think Uki was mad at me. But they're not. They're just like, oh, nothing's happening. But the way, yeah, they're just very, very funny sometimes. Yeah, sometimes like they're so cool. They just always look annoyed at the world. It's amazing. It's my favorite thing ever. Uki is a black cat. That's it. If I am golden retriever energy, Uki is black cat energy. Always. Always a resting bitch face. A pretty resting bitch face. But yeah. They bought me a lot of food. I bought them some food. They're really, really sweet. Ooh, Uki has such a quiet vibe. Oh my goodness. Every time I listen to Uki, I feel my soul is soothed. I was watching a little bit of the Violisco collab yesterday and just, oh, my soul is calm. It's not just Uki's voice. It's the way Uki talks. It's so soothing. It's so calming. Oh, this was so filling. I promise you. Oh yeah, there's 2 types of people who take pictures of food, right? My friends always kind of make fun of me for this. This is the kind of food pictures I take. Have you seen Uki's food pictures? Wait. Let me actually make that a tweet. Uki's food pictures and my food pictures are very, very, very different. Uki takes these like really aesthetic, gorgeous photos. And I'm like, haha, there's my empty bowl of soup. Uki is aesthetic. I just want people to see. Which photo should I post of Uki's? Because they all look incredible. I think I'm just gonna take a screenshot. Hold on. There's two types of food photographers at Uki Violeta. All right, let me see. Guess which is which. I always take pictures of my food when I'm done with it. I don't know why. I love doing that. I'm posting the tweet. I posted it. It looks so bad, the comparison. Uki's expectation, mom's reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Thank you so much for the membership. Thank you for your kind words and thank you for making content. It makes my day better. I'm happy. You know, I can't tell you what we were talking about yesterday because it was pretty private, but Uki said this to Luca and I wrote it down because I thought it was so beautiful. Uki said, I watch your streams to feel better, to Luca. And, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Why am I emotional today? Oh my goodness. It made me tear up. I just thought, wow, you know, that's awesome. Yeah, Uki said that to Luca with so much honesty and so much kindness. And I just thought, wow. So I remember when he said that, I thought to myself, first of all, I agree. I also watch Luca's streams to feel better. Luca's amazing. But then I thought, it would be nice if someone felt that way about me. And here you are, and you said the same thing. And I'm just like, oh, God was listening. God was listening.